at least net of Ammontok, you know.
Yeah. But no Lizardman so far, Fire Joha. That's actually surprising. They're usually pretty popular pick in tournaments. But all right, Tomb Kings or Empire, my friend?
I'd probably rather go with this Empire build.
All right, let's take a look at this Empire build, sir.
And like we said, the strengths of the Empire: guns and chaff. Well, a couple things other top factions do not have. And we're going to see it all in this army here. For the infantry, as we always start, we'll go, we have 5 spearmen. Actually, let's see, check that, only 4 spears. But now we have 2, well, 3 swords, one of them being the Artoir, Sigmar's Sons. Now we have just 2 flagellants, 2 halberds. Now for the range contingent, we have 4 handgunners. And, yeah, that's it for range. I thought we had some free company, but looks like he chose against it. And, yeah, 2 Empire Knights for the Cav. For the leadership, we have 2 Witch Hunters, both with Accusation. And for the Lord, we have Balthasar Gelt in the air on his peg. And, yeah, just Final Trans, Staff of Ballins, Arcane Conduit, Plague of Rust, and Metal Shifting for that passive armor boost when he's casting. And, yeah, I do really like this army.
Yeah.
Very wide, a lot of guns. But, yeah, we'll see what Mix is brought to deal with it. He's often a master of chariots, and it'll be difficult for all this infantry to deal with, even with these guns. And, yeah, what has the Tomb King proper?
Mix is known for his chariot gameplay. He's rather infamous for it, actually. So, looking at the main forces here, the infantry will consist of 5 skeleton spearmen. Not a lot of infantry. It looks like he will have 4 Nehekar horsemen. I'm actually going to go up in the strategic view here. It makes it easier, actually. So he's going to have 2 skeleton horse archers. He's then going to have 3 units of Nehekar horsemen, 2 Ushapti with great bows, 1 in the main force here, the other hidden over here with the 2 Nehekar horsemen. I like that deployment a lot on his left flank. He's going to have a unit of carrying up in the air, and then aside from that, he's going to have the fun units back here, which are going to be some chariots. So we got skeleton chariots here over in the forest, and then to round out this force, we have it being led by the one, the only, Setch the Imperishable on his War Sphinx. He's going to have Blade of Tra, Wrath of Tra, Saket's Incantation of the Skulltorm, as well as Unyielding Will and the Restless Dead, of course. Now here we go. The battle is going to begin, and Balthasar Gelt is going to come out here for some scouting with his Empire Knights and see that there's some skeleton horse archers here doing a little cheeky maneuvering, trying to stay hidden and scout ahead. Over here, the main force of the Empire is going to be pushing out, and looking at the deployment, going to see a pincer movement from the Tomb Kings. I mean, how are your thoughts here on this initial build versus build? What are your impressions, Romulan?
Well, the way Mixa can play this definitely has a slight advantage in the opening game. He's 2 Bow Shopti. Should be able to really put a hurt on some of these guns. And if he can bring these guns down, I mean, these Witch Hunters could be very dangerous for Cetra. Double Accusation, Final Trans. That could quickly shift the game. But, yeah, these Bow Shopti can be able to kite this Empire army all the way around the map.
Yeah.
Use all their ammo, delete the flagellants, shoot the guns. Once they're compromised, he should be in a great position, but he's moving forward with the skeleton spearmen. I don't like this. I think this is too premature. You can't run away forever, but I don't think you should take this engagement right away.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, skeleton spearmen are not going to have a good time against flagellants, first of all. And
yeah.
Other than that, it kind of feels a bit premature in terms of, like, the rest of the army doesn't feel like it's quite in position yet to help out the way they'll need to.
But these chariots are plowing in.
Yes, they are.
Oh my goodness, yeah, they're going to just tear apart these flagellants. Oh, look, this is a beautiful little rear charge.
Rear charge, wow. That's what you call micro.
Oh, and the other horseman is getting on the guns. Another beautiful play. If he keeps pulling through with these chariots, with the horsemen, then follows up here, he could just steamroll over this. There we go, first Realm of Souls is popped.
Indeed. We will see the Empire Knights being pulled forward, and their mass is going to slow down those Nehekar horsemen and chariots, so good use there. And the handguns have taken care of a lot of this other unit of Nehekar horsemen already, so...
It looks like we have a Vortex. We have
Ooh,
Vortex going
who's it
down.
coming?
A Sandstorm. It's on the Empire
Soulstorm.
Knights.
Oh,
It's tearing them apart.
It's doing some good damage there. Soulstorm, very good anti-cap Vortex spell. And Skeleton Chariots, though, are getting knocked down by these Empire Knights. And I have to say, Crusader's doing a good job protecting those two handguns on his left flank.
We'll see, though. These Skeleton Horse Archers are coming around that left flank, and looks like they're going into melee straight into those gunners who thought they were retreating to safe ground. It's not safe anyway.
No, it is not. Here they come out of the forest as the second Realm of Souls pops. And look at that. A rear charge into them. Handgunners are going to continue firing. It looks like this time at Cetra, but yeah, those Skeleton Horse Archers are going to do a lot of work if this infantry can't get them off in time.
Oh, and Cetra is on Balthasar Gelt. He's putting a whooping on poor little Gelty, although Gelt is supported by the two Witch Hunters, which are, they need to be compromised by these horsemen.
Absolutely.
But there we go. Gelt got back in the air, safe and sound.
Yeah, and it actually looks like the Empire is able to defend the handgunners from those Skeleton Horse Archers, but now Nehekar Horsemen hitting them from the other end.
Yeah, they're going right after it. Still some spears on the flanks. This is, they need to get into this combat.
Absolutely. I mean, there goes Cetra diving in, doing a lot of damage against these spears. But it looks like the Empire Knights are actually trying to get on top of them, maybe hold them in place a little bit, so the spears and halberds can get some work done on them. But are there any range units left for the Empire that aren't compromised?
It doesn't look like, well, whatever's left is very tattered. There's one unit of handguns and reasonable health, about 3/4 health. The rest are compromised and routing off the field. Oh, yeah. One. Never mind. There's one actually coming back. Well, look at this. Two guns in a bit of a nice crossfire here.
Oh, yeah.
And an accusation going down, etc.
Exactly. Oh, man. Both of the Witch Hunters in range. Two handgunners on either side. Wow, yeah. Cetra could be in trouble here, especially if a final trans goes down on him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the Empire's just looking like they're winning this with the numbers, you know?
Yeah.
Boshopti are just not getting enough damage done. I don't even think they've really had anybody try to tie him down until now, and they still just haven't gotten enough damage in.
Yeah, and Cetra, another accusation going down. It's in this dangerous crossfire. Tons of anti-large around him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not looking good for the Tomb Kings. Here we go. Final trans. Could be game.
Yeah. I think without the fire, yeah. Oh, man,
it's
Cetra.
upgraded, yeah.
Cetra is going to perish here. And a very, very good game to the Empire. I don't see how he can come back from this.
Yeah, Cetra's too low, and he's not going to be able to escape these Witch Hunters here. Look at Gelt. Gelt has charged down to fight Cetra at 1v1.
Oh, mistake, Gelt. Mistake.
Yeah, maybe he's getting a whooping put on him, though. He might be able to escape, though.
Oh, Gelt.
Oh no, Gelt's terror routed.
He is indeed.
Like,
oh
looks
my
like it'll
goodness.
be an even trade, though.
Yeah, more than likely. And looking across the field, though, the writing's on the wall. The Empire is gathering itself together. Unbreakable units getting on top of the Ushabti. Ushabti with great bows. Cetra won't be able to survive these Witch Hunters. One more accusation and he's dead. He only has 350 hit points left.
And there it goes. Another accusation, and
there goes Cetra the Imperishable.
I think he's resisting it.
Oh,
no, there he goes. He was stuck at 86 HP for a few moments there, but alas, Cetra did finally perish.
Indeed.
Yeah, no, as we look back at this game, I do feel that engagement was far too premature for the Tomb Kings. They had, you know, the range advantage. They could have, you know, just kited out that Empire army, got a lot more work done with their Boshopti, and
absolutely.
Boshopti was doing some pretty good work. They got some nice flank shots on the handgunners, but then they just got a bit over anxious, dove right in there. And it may have still been all right, but all these Nehekar horsemen and the chariots, they had good initial shock getting in there, disrupting the back line, but they overstayed their welcome, and they got dragged down by spears.
Absolutely.
Just need to pull out a bit sooner.
No, I mean, you're absolutely right, and your initial comment there just hits the nail on the head. Like, we've seen a couple times in this tournament, and it's a very consistent theme in tournaments that I want to try to get across to newer players who may be watching too. Is just like it's very important that you time your engagements so they happen in a way that complements one another. And that's just because if you push everything on one side at once, your opponent only needs to focus on addressing the concern from one side. I know that was a really stupid explanation, but he had two Boshopti that outranged everything the Empire had. He had two skeleton horse archers that could really get some good damage down for free on top of the flagellants and even the handgunners over time. And I think he really needed to utilize those chariots more, keep the infantry safe and back further, and like you say, just kite for a while. It's not the most fun thing to watch sometimes, but it's definitely the best thing to do. If you have outranged everything your opponent has, then why would you give that card up, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
You
yeah,
know,
for sure.
I'm not going to get mad about a nice thing they do, but I will continue to say do more.
Yeah. And that's kind of the way it's all. We all want a little more because we want this game to try.
And it builds the reputation of the players. Like King of the Dead, he's got way more followers since that tournament. So it does help build the community. And, you know,
for sure.
I'm not going to get mad about a nice thing they do, but I will continue to say do more.
Yeah. And that's kind of the way it's all. We all want a little more because we want this game to, make big strides. And, what can we say? I think it's a lot better than Fortnite, you know, and a lot of these other games that get way too much attention, like Clash of Clans. Like, hey, it's an alright game, but it's just not as beautiful as this.
Yeah. Well, and, getting to the battle at hand, also V-Claw, my tournaments now I'm trying to keep them under 4 hours moving forward, except for finals like this. But in any case, greenskins. We got 4 Gobos. We got ourselves 2 Orc Airboys. We got ourselves 2 Black Orcs. And then we're also going to have... Oh, make that 3 Black Orcs. Damn. We got a Doomdiver Catapult, which I love. Aside from that, we're also going to have a Goblin Wolf Chariot, which I really love. 2 Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archers. And then, I think, just to round out the force... Yeah, that's going to be it. So for the leadership squad, we are going to have a Goblin Big Boss. And this Goblin Big Boss will probably be naked. We got Azag the Slaughter with Wasp Spirit Leech, as well as the Spider Banner to get that poison damage. Very good stuff when he's on foot. And then we have the Night Goblin Shaman. So same armor we saw Mixon bring earlier against Bretonia. And we'll see if it works out as well for him this time. And this time, still Vindictive Glare now. What about Bretonia? What has Crusader brought for us?
Bretonia has brought a very big force. And of course, they've gone with the elites of the elite, the Peasant Mob.
Oh.
And he's gone with the max number, 5 Peasant Mob, backed up by a Grail Relic, which I think is very important here to really maximize all this chaff. Now, backing up these peasants even more, we have 2 Men-at-Arms and 3 Foot Squires. Now for the Cav, we have 2 Knights of the Realm on the left flank of Bretonia, and we have 2 Grail Knights on the right flank. Interesting that these units are divided up. And we have 3 Mounted Yeomen, the Archer variant, and we have the Fey Enchantress, as well as a Damsel of Beast. The Damsel of Beast just with Scroll of Shielding, Power Stone, and Transformation of Kadan with Wildheart. It's getting those Manticore summons off, as the Fey has all the standard stuff. Chalice of Potions, Favor of the Fey, Arcane Conduit, Earthblood, Mist of the Lady, Life Bloom, and Blessing of the Lady. Well, Blessing of the Lady she always had, but yeah, a very wide Bretonian army here. And it's interesting, besides the Manticore, no Terror. And we'll see if these Grail Knights can bring down that spider with the help of that Manticore, but it looks like a tall task. Looks like a lot to do.
Yeah. I guess we'll see.
But we'll see.
Both of these guys, incredible players, so, this game is full of surprises, guys. We just saw Marathi get knocked off of a hill and killed after she was a whooping for most of the battle, so who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, indeed, and
one thing I'm wondering, and give me your thoughts here, how do you feel about the deployment of the Doomdiver Catapult with so much forest in front of it?
It's going to work out both ways.
It'll slow down the Cav.
It was meant to block the, Well, it also block any incoming archer fire in case there are, you know, a bunch of peasant bows marching up to snipe it, but it's only the mounted yeomen, so I'm not sure how well it will do. It's interesting that their entire rear flank is out of the forest while their front is in the forest. So,
yeah,
it's an interesting position. I'm not sure I completely agree with it. I think you might want to just go in the forest if you're going to go halfway.
Well, regardless, both players are going to be trading a lot of skirmish fire here in the early stages of the battle. And I'd say these two factions, in terms of mobile skirmishing, trade pretty evenly. Mounted yeomen are just really cost effective, but, you know, Forest Golem Spider Riders with their poison and everything. Oh, look at that! But it got hit into a tree!
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I don't know if that was intentional or not, but the damsel hid behind that tree expertly.
And that's the give or take of this position. You know, they will slow down the cav, block some missile fire, but in turn, all the missiles from the greenskins getting blocked as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, and think of how much damage. That damsel may have been dead after that vindictive player. You know, like, hurt very badly enough to be routed by something else. So, you know, it's definitely a big trade, and I think we're seeing how it could bite him in the ass. But look at this. Doom Diver Catapult is now going to focus on the Knights of the Realm in the forest.
Yeah, interesting choice.
You see, it's very hard for me to resist the temptation just to only cast, like, I just want to watch every single Doom Diver Catapult launch and land. But then I would miss most of the battle, but fuck it, I'm doing it again. Where are you going, buddy?
There's not too much action going down. I think we'd rather just see this little goblin flying.
Oh no, he hit a tree before he hit the...
Oh, it's a shame.
It's a shame.
That poor goblin.
Do you remember that one goblin we found who... Oh, he hit the tree too!
Yeah, the goblin with the magic attack.
Yeah, the magical levitation.
Goblin.
Yeah. Yeah. Direct hit! Oh, goblins are too fun. But yeah, I mean, Britonia's closing the jaws of its trap, you know, going far and wide. I like the patient approach from Crusader, taking his time surrounding the Greenskin army, but I have to say, these Black Orcs in the forest are going to be really tough to crack, especially with the Arachnarok Queen. Yeah, it's going to be tough. And Azag with the Goblin Big Boss is also going to be very efficient at killing the Fey Enchantress if she gets in too close, because she's going to want that Mist of the Lady pop to get that damage over time on the Black Orcs, but that's when
we have the
Gobbo.
cav charging coming.
Ooh!
Knights of the Realm on the right flank.
Here we go, diving in right here. Peasants following it up.
Going right into the goblins as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Blorks are came into support against the other Knights of the Realm.
Mm-hmm.
While the other Blorks look like they'll be a bit late for the party.
But look at this micro. Oh, that Men-at-Arms slipping in.
Oh, but they're caught by the spider. I think they'll rout before they meet their mission's end.
And Chalice of Potions going down on these Black Orcs. This could be big, but it looks like the Black Orcs see it, and they're going to dodge it.
Another beautiful dodge of the Chalice by Rigson.
Yeah. Now, Migsa is going to be routing off everybody who hit him on that right flank, except for the Knights, fortunately for Britonia, but they still took some damage in there. Meanwhile, though, Britonia is pushing hard on their right flank. But Law being popped.
Yeah, it's going to help these goblins stabilize here. And they have backup from the Black Orcs, so they're just chewing through everything.
Yeah.
So, seems like that wall was a little oddly timed.
It was a bit wonky, I think.
Yeah. Seems like 30 seconds or a minute prior would have been better.
Yeah. But as long as Azag stays in combat, he'll have another one charged up in no time.
Oh, but, look, I think Azag's going for the Grail really weak.
Yeah, it looks like he is.
But the Grail
not going to be able to get on top of it in time.
Yeah. That's a smart play.
In terms of the melee combat, I mean, the Black Orcs are still healthy, so to me that means the Greenskins are still on top for the infantry combat. But I have to say, Knights of the Realm keep on trying to charge in, but Goblins and Black Orcs are doing really good work.
Nothing. They just hit those Black Orcs. They just hit a wall, and my goodness, they're just getting torn down.
Yeah. They just don't like to be in combat with those Black Orcs. And also the Doom Diver Catapult continuing to fly in there. And it's getting some mean damage on those shots. I love how accurate that catapult is.
Oh, look, I think they spun around and, oh, they're going after the goblins.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a good charge.
Yeah, very good rear charge. Those foot
They're
squires.
just eating fire the whole time they do so.
I mean, it looks like the Arachnarok Queen and Azag are chasing down Fae Enchantress's party with some Black Orcs and the Gobble Wolf Chariots, and it just seems like Bretonnia's having a hard time making any dents in this Greenskin army.
Yeah, it's just wherever they try to attack, they're getting dragged down and punished. We have some Spider Hatchlings holding down these Knights of the Realm. These other ones stayed in combat too long and they're getting torn up. The Grail Knights are still in good health, but you know, there's still plenty of Black Orcs. 2 Black Orcs at about nearly full health. Spider Queen at full health. And this is not really where you want to be as Bretonia. Fighting Black Orcs, your Chaff is dead, and your Cav is compromised. Well, I mean, still Grail Knights, but Knights of the Realm are gone.
And not only that, it's in the forest too, which is just such a big problem for Bretonia right now. Like, their cavalry is so debuffed by being in the forest here, especially when you're fighting Black Orcs. It's just, Bretonia really has a lot of unfavorable engagements, not only in terms of unit composition, but you just sprinkle the fact that pretty much all of this is happening in forest, and it just makes it a real tough matchup for Bretonia right now.
Absolutely, and then the Spirit Leech from Azag and the Doom Diver. And, yeah, these Grail Knights are quickly approaching about half health, and looks like the other Grail Knights are getting worn down as well. Yeah, this is quickly turning into a greenskin game, and the chain route could be quite close.
Yeah, I mean, and right there we just saw the Grail really get shot down, but we do see a Manticore summon, but not really doing too much to even the balance of power.
I want to say this is the first Manticore summoned as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Seems odd. Yeah.
I think most of it has been used on the heels so far.
Indeed, and they're going right after Azag, but Azag is tanky.
Yeah, no,
It's so easy to snipe.
Melee defense at 36. You got that poison to debuff people in combat. So, and Spider Hatchling's coming in to help them out too. I like that.
The one thing is,
go ahead.
The Black Orcs are very spread out here. You know, the 2 healthy Black Orcs are way out on the flanks.
Yeah.
Not near the center where they need to be, but Big Wah coming in.
Big Wah indeed.
I don't know what the Spider Queen's doing right now, my son, though. I mean, he's trying to kill the caster, but he needs to go save Azag.
Yeah, it really needs to go save Azag. How did that spell go off? The Feral Manticore was summoned. The damsel looked like she was routing already. That's crazy. But now look at this. Is Azag going to die?
Yeah, it's pulling a balance bar right back to the middle. And
oh my god, there goes Azag.
And 1 Black Orc just got routed. 1 is still at full health, and 1 is just barely holding on, but my goodness.
My goodness indeed. Can you believe this madness? Azag was in such a dominant position, and now look at him. He's going to get singled out by the Manticore. Somebody needs to save him. If Greenskins lose him to death, that's going to be a huge dent in their leadership. And oh no. We may see Azag go down here, chat. And just like that, this battle is turning around. Look at the Bretonians regrouping. This is really close.
Yeah, and that's the only way Bretonia can really kill the Spider Queen is loss of leadership, just routing it off the field. But you know, the Orcs are still in the forest. They still have the Spider Queen at about 80% full health. Bretonia doesn't have much ammo. I think we're going to see another grind fest here.
Yeah, no Flock of Dooms, no more Manticore summons, and yeah.
Unless there's the big Chalice of Potions.
That's very true. Chalice of Potions could be a game changer right now. Balance of power is in favor of Bretonia now. And
the Arachnarok Queen is really getting worn down.
Yeah, she is. And look at this. The Fae Enchantress coming in for the rear charge with the Grail Knights may prove to be just enough to rout her off. And I cannot believe this.
And now the Chalice of Potions.
Yeah. I think
this is a good one. This could change.
Bretonia's got this.
Yeah, it looks like, Spider is about to rout. Huge turnaround.
What a turnaround indeed. Crusader. You dirty, dirty man.
But, yeah, GG.
That was
Yeah, the Greenskins were in a very commanding position, but I think the big mistake is, you know, they just lost the.
well, he moved the queen away from Azag.
Yeah, the queen was away from Azag as well. 2 Black Orcs were way out on the flanks. The Orcs were way out not where they needed to be, and the queen was not protecting old Azag. And if they just stayed together, essentially, you know, just they really could have just almost blobbed and just watch out for chalices, and they could have just ground through the rest of the Bretonians. But yeah, great turnaround. It's
Great turnaround.
Another example of how, you know, small mistake can lead to victory or defeat.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what a battle this has been. Lice, thank you so much for the follow. But yeah, that queen's just going to go down to the surround, I imagine. And come on, queen. Give us an attack.
This has to be, it has to be kind of tough, too, because it was quite a commanding position for the Orcs not long ago.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, oh, yeah. That's a rough loss, I'm sure. And now Migs has to come back from a 2-0 deficit.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Could certainly change the complexity of the series, but yeah, just a great turnaround there.
An excellent turnaround for sure. Like that was.
Tony saw its opportunity and just jumped on it.
Absolutely, I mean,
pun intended.
Another reason I love this game so damn much. It's things can turn around just like that. Another game that I think most people were convinced the Black Orcs had 200 kills apiece almost for those two, and almost 100 for the others. But damn, Azag being left alone right after he killed the Grell Elite too. I'm sure Mixa was feeling really confident, riding high there, getting a lot of valuable damage done. But having the queen so far away from him, I think, lost him the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I think he was feeling a bit, you know, quite confident in that position, you know. Like he could just kind of ride that to victory. And, but yeah, just a loss of positioning can be all it takes.
Aristo, I honestly don't think it was a turnaround. I think it was just Crusader being better with the strategy and executing it in the most
I wouldn't say that.
I don't know. He was losing a lot of people there.
I mean, those Black Orcs just need to be kept in the forest. They just buy the Ragnarok Queen, buy Azag. But the thing is, all the key units were isolated, which perhaps they were dragged out of position by cycle charges or units. But regardless, he could have just kept them in there.
On
the thing is actually,
sorry.
The thing is, those infantry units probably need to be on guard mode, to be honest. So they didn't just run out, you know, all across the map. They just countercharged. They fought. When the enemy ran away, they stayed put. I think Crusader, he played well and he capitalized the mistake. But
I don't know.
That's just how it goes in every game. You know.
Sorry to interrupt, but Ondiaga's here, man. Ondiaga.
Yeah. Hey, Ondiaga. Good to see you, man.
How are you? Good. Good to see you, friend. But no, yeah, that was. I would definitely say it was a turnaround. I'm with you there, Romulan. It wasn't. I think his plan, honestly, probably wasn't to lose that many people initially and let the balance of power go that far against him. I think it was just an excellent turnaround, and he capitalized on a mistake from Mixa, because I think there was definitely a point in the battle where it was Mixa needed to make a mistake to lose, and it happened. But great game.
I think the reason we can say it's a turnaround is because the balance of power was in Mix's favor, and then it drastically shifted into Crusader's favor once the position was lost. Some people say,
absolutely.
You know, High Elves do very well in this matchup. They have all the tools, which they certainly do, but other people say Vampire Coast can just make it so difficult for them, give them headaches all day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess we'll just see how these two players play it. Because ultimately, the one thing that a faction matchup will always be dependent on is player skill. So,
yeah, indeed.
You want the B Coast or the High Elves, friend?
I'm on the High Elf side, so why not?
All right, take it away.
I'll stay with the high ground. And so for the High Elves, we have the standard 5 Spearmen. As well, we have 5 Lothran Sea Guard, 2 Archers, 2 Phoenix Guard, and now for the leadership. We have a Mage of Light, Dead of Ammontalk, Shem's Burning Gaze, I believe that's Exorcism, And the Book of Hoeth. And everyone's favorite High Elf Lord. Rarely seen, always lurking in the shadows. Alith Ana. And what does he have? Looks like he has the Moonbow. Misleading how useless it may be. And Darken the Skies. So let's see if he, with Darken the Skies, maybe he'll be able to really put down some suppressing fire with all these archers. But let's see. Lithanar is, rarely seen.
Rarely seen, indeed.
And what is so what have the pirates brought for us, my son?
Well, the pirates are going to be bringing a rather wide army. So, starting with the infantry, it does look like we will have your standard polearms, zombie pirate deckhand with polearms. It looks like there's going to be 3 of those. Aside from that, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 zombie gunnery mob. Make that 5 zombie pirate gunnery mob. We're also going to have a couple of scurvy dogs on the right flank, and 1 on the left flank. And then he's going to have an ample number of Moringals. So 1, 2, 3, 4 units of Moringals. A very popular pick with that terror and the regeneration when they're in combat. A rather powerful unit. Now for the leadership, if I can come and find it. Here we go. We are going to have Rotting Leviathan as a single entity monster here. And then we're going to have Count Noctilus, of course, with Captain Ross Moondial, Wraith Storm, Arcane Conduit, Invocation from the Heck, as well as the Drowned Dead. So, that rounds out both of the forces. Doesn't look like we've missed anything. And let's get to it. Whew. Initial impression, Romulan.
I think Mixa brought a perfect army to deal with what Crusader has. And if Mixa plays aggressively and utilize this well, maybe shutting down a flank, gets good charges with his dire wolves, doesn't leave him in combat too long, I think it's his game to lose.
Yeah.
I really think this is a perfect army to deal with all this, not to mention, all this range fire. Gonna have a tough time dealing with the Rotting Leviathan. Unless Lithanar can really get some good damage down on it, but the thing about a Lithanar is he doesn't have a ton of ammunition. He only has like 30 shots. And quite a bit less, like, I think a Witch Hunter has like 42.
Yeah.
But
I also
he does a lot of damage.
Yeah, and I totally missed the extra 2 scurvy dogs that were Vanguard deployed way in the back too. So there's actually 5 scurvy dogs in the map.
It'll be tricky because those scurvy dogs, they're not large, but they won't do great against Lothran Seaguard. The Seaguard have pretty good stats, so he's going to need to use them in conjunction with those Mournguls. And if he can get some good terror routes, those dogs should just chase everything off the field, and it should be easy.
Yeah.
There's not much that's immune to Psych. There's nothing that's immune to Psych.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and not only that, it's like as long as he can shut down the archers, then the Mournguls are safe and free to do whatever they want. But once again, Mixa, I want to see him pushing his units up in better unison. Like right now, his right flank is so far extended, and he's going to just lose all of these zombie pirate gunnery mob. And the problem is they're not dying for anything. They're not buying time for other units to be closing the gap. They're just dying. And that's just free loss. Well, I guess not free loss. A free win for your opponent, on those units. So it's just disappointing to see almost 900 points wiped off that early in this battle.
Although there is one thing they're doing. They're eating ammo. And
that's true.
That's drawing ammo away from the Mournguls, but these Mournguls, they're jumping out of the forest prematurely.
Diving into Spearmen. Oh no.
Yeah, and the Hounds are jumping on the Lothran Seaguard without support. Their only good target is the archers. Lothran Seaguard, they'll be able to fight them off.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know. Guess we will see. It does look like the Mournguls are starting to get into the cookie jar, perhaps.
This
net of a Mintok going down though.
Huge, and you ran right into the net.
Oh no!
Right into the net. Oh my goodness. It's a really rough start.
It most certainly is. There goes the duplicate from Lithanar.
Oh, here we go. There's some wolves coming in back here. Trying to get into some of these archers, but one Mournguls down already.
One Mournguls down. Another one is in a very bad spot where it's fighting, and I don't know. Noctilus is going to be a very powerful lord in this matchup for sure. And look at this. Now the scurvy dogs are jumping in with the Rotting Leviathan. They're going to be able to rout those archers off. We got Mournguls diving in here. We got a summon coming down, and You know, this is where the Vampire Coast usually tends to shine. Is early game they get crushed a lot because they're slow, but once they get in there and they start getting their summons going, they can get into a nice rhythm.
Indeed, and they have a good push going on the right flank of the High Elves, and they just keep pushing that advantage, and then move over to this right flank and get rid of these 2 Loth and Seaguard out on the periphery.
Yeah.
It's just they might have too much for the High Elves to deal with here. The giant crab, the Morghuls, but a second Morghul is about to go down.
Yeah, I mean, unless he gets an invocation to heck, there's a big blob here full of units that need it, and it looks like he's going for it. Is he going to get that invocation? That's a net. Damn. Okay, there goes the invocation to heck. So will it be enough to save these Morghuls? And I think it may just be enough. They're about to go back to 2,000 HP. The Zombie Pirate Decon mob moving in to chaff for them. And, yeah, I mean, this is a really close fight. The problem for the Vampire Coast is the archers are still on the peripheries getting some good crossfires into the Morghuls, but they haven't done any damage to the Rotting Leviathan, and I don't know what's going to deal with the Rotting Leviathan in this mid to late game.
Yeah, absolutely, and as long as it doesn't just sit on the Phoenix Guard, which the Morghuls were doing for a while, which looked like it was going to quickly just unravel from there, but they got away from the Phoenix Guard. They're going to clean up this whole right flank, and yeah, this giant crab can just run over all these Loth and Seaguard as the Phoenix Guard frantically run after it, trying to bring it down. But it's
and look at the damage to Elitha Nar too, and there's no healing right now, so he's just got the Mage of Light, and the balance of power is going in favor of the Vampire Counts quite drastically as this battle wears on. And I have to say, although I was really doubting it, I almost feel like the Morghuls here are kind of a distraction in Mix's eyes. He's like, as long as they aren't shooting my Rotting Leviathan, then I'm okay, because my Rotting Leviathan, if there's no ammo at the end of this battle, will be able to take everything down. And it seems like even the Phoenix Guard just aren't going to be able to, you know, they can't pin it in place.
Yeah, that seems like a good assessment. Because, like you said, the most difficult thing will be this Rotting Leviathan. The only AP on the field is Elitha Nar, and he's about to get chased off by hounds. He's not routing yet, but soon he will be.
Yeah. A good net, though, going on the Rotting Leviathan, but Invocation net going down to counteract that, so...
Yeah, just, and look at that, the right flank completely cleaned up. These Morghuls are healing back up to nearly full. One has 12 bottles, the other one, 10 and 5. Still 27 Morghuls on the field. Oh, the Rotting Leviathan, though, that net held in the Phoenix Guard, and it took a lot of damage.
It did indeed. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's on critical binding.
Ooh, Rotting Leviathan, what you gonna do? Gonna hit Elitha Nar, but it's getting shot in the back. Oh man, this is actually starting to get a little bit close here, but the Morghuls are starting to come up from the rear. So even with the Rotting Leviathan perhaps getting knocked out right here in the fight, I think they'll be okay. Because how many health points? It's got still 17.
Healed quite a bit still.
Oh yeah, for sure. But it looks like a net's going down on it. And I don't know if he's going to be able to get out of there. But it looks like a summon.
Yep. No, it's a Race Storm.
Ooh.
Punish these Phoenix Guard for taking down the crab. So it's pretty...
Oh! And the crab does a huge charge animation running away from the clutches of the Phoenix Guard.
That's a beautiful little trick there. If you want to get out the net, you can still get your charge animation. You can't move, but you can get your charge.
And look, here come the Morghuls now. Balance of power still in favor of the Vampire Coast. A decoy distracting the Rotting Leviathan for now, it would seem, but he needs to get that Rotting Leviathan.
Look at Noctilus, though. Noctilus was just chasing away the heroes.
Yeah, he was.
Out for blood, but now he's fighting Phoenix Guard, but I imagine he'll do quite well since he's Phoenix Guard at Lost Man. Yeah, Martial Prowess.
Yeah.
Oh, Martial Master, sorry.
But look at that monster crumbling. When is it going to stop crumbling? Critical binding, okay. But it's going towards Phoenix Guard. Only 798 health, but there goes another invocation to heck, and the Rotting Leviathan will stay around another day. And it looks like Mix is pulling this one off. It's been a bit back and forth, though.
Yeah, absolutely. It was, yeah, it wasn't the smoothest or
Not
best
the
initial
smoothest.
engagement. A little sloppy, you know, engaging piecemeal at the beginning.
Yeah.
But was able to get a good right flank going and keep his Morgul's alive. He's only lost one unit of Morgul, so that was huge.
Yeah, no, Terror definitely gonna win the day here.
Now there we go. GG.
GG.
There
for
will
both
be no
players.
3-0.
There will be no 3-0. Also, Syphos and Soothsayer, let me reschedule the third place battle for you, because I'm hoping this goes on. You know, we have at least one more battle, possibly two, and it's already 2 o'clock my time, and it's my buddy's birthday today. But in any case, we've got a series indeed, Viking Cat, and let's see how this goes. And everybody, stop talking about the balance here. High Elves can definitely beat Vampire Coast. He just didn't have the tools he needed to counter this army. This army was just, like Ramen said in the beginning, this army had everything it needed to take care of this army. And I think Crusader just, there was a bit lacking in this build in terms of the mass to stop things. So he had the net of a Mintok, which I think is a very good call on his part. He recognized the lack of mass and the absolute necessity of netting things in place, which is how he was almost able to kill the Rotting Leviathan and kill a couple of these Morghuls. But yeah, I just, in the end, wasn't a huge fan of that build. But what do you think,
Maybe he was
Ron?
thinking about the Coast army he faced previously. It was much more defensive.
That's true.
You know,
yeah.
it used the artillery to bring, you know, the elf towards him and just shot him to pieces. So maybe he thought, you know, a Lithanar, he could counter the artillery with a Lithanar, and just, in turn, shoot the opponent to pieces. But that's not what happened here. The opponent rushed at him, came at him with a very strong build, 4 Morghuls, Rotting Leviathan, an old Count Noctilus, and I don't think this was the build Crusader really expected, and yeah, it was definitely tough sledding from there on out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
have a good one,
the
J-Dog.
Morgul rush can really catch people off, you know, off guard. Because you're expecting a lot of guns, you know, you're expecting cannons, you're expecting chaff, but then they run at you with a bunch of fast-moving dogs, scurvy dogs, and the sneaky Morghuls, which you can't even see prior to the engagement.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think there was a couple times where Crusader could have taken that, but some very well-timed invocation to Hex.
Okay, but if then they
out.
switch to Sartosa, now it's a whole new animal. And
Exactly.
You have to deal with all this fast anti-infantry.
Yeah, so I really messed up there, and I have to say I'm going to have it on my conscience if Migza loses here because of it. But in any case...
I mean, really, we'd have to look back to the Soothsayer game. You know, I think...
if Migza loses here because of it. But in any case...
I mean, really, we'd have to look back to the Soothsayer game. You know, I think Crusader just said Coast there. You know, he didn't specify Sartosa at all. And Sartosa has
Well, he actually brought Silostra's faction in that one, right? Because he had the 2 damned paladins.
No, against dwarfs. Against Slax's dwarfs.
Oh, okay, gotcha, never mind.
He had the vampire
yeah, you're right.
pistol.
You're right.
The fleet captain. Yeah.
In any case, yeah, that's my bad, but, well,
But that didn't
whatever.
change the second game, you know? Well, it put more weight on the second game, but still.
Well, if Soothsayer and Migza want to talk to me afterwards, I will talk to them. I think we're cool. But in any case, how about you go over that Vampire Coast army?
Indeed. Be on the opposite side, but yeah.
Oh,
let's see. Yep, it's we'll go over the infantry. We have looks like 5 deckhand mobs, one of them being the Artawar, Tide of Scold. Then we have 4 pirate gunnery mob. Now we have 3 Sartosian militia. And then the black spot.
Yeah.
The Artawar handgunners, and 1 unit of Death Guard. And that will round out the infantry. Now we also have 4 Morghuls, 1 deck dropper with handguns, and where is the Lord? Oh, there we are. With like yeah, it's a fleet captain, polearm, Lore of Vampires. Yep, standard stuff. We have Van Horst Speculum, Wand of Jet, Nahek, Summon, Curse of Undeath, and yeah, all the standard stuff. And that rounds out the Vampire Coast Army. what has the Empire brought to deal with this?
Well, thank you very much, Romulan Dog. I apologize, chat, that I wasn't really going through the armies right there. I was updating the scoreboard. But in any
There are
case,
worse people to get mixed up with.
Yeah, right? In any case, we have the Empire here with 5 swordsmen up front. Aside from those 5 swordsmen, we are going to see a strong cavalry contingent consisting of 1 Empire Knight and 2 Reichsguard. It looks like we'll also have a 2nd Empire Knight back in the corner. We will then have a unit of Free Company Militia, as well as the Hammer of the Witches here for artillery. I love the Hammer of the Witches. It can be a very useful unit against the Vampire Coast indeed. Now, aside from these units for the Hero Ship Squad, we are going to see a Warrior Priest. The Warrior Priest will be down here on top of his horse, and he will be bringing the Banner of Eternal Flame, which is awesome for that fire damage being imbued on allies nearby, and the extra leadership from Benediction. He also has the Amber Wizard with Flock of Doom and Transformation of Kadan. And then up in the air, he's got Boris Todbringer with Foe Seeker, as well as Deadly Onslaught, as well as Middle Lane Runeflang, Crush the Weak, and the White Cloak of Auric. So, how's the combat going so far, Romulan?
Well, we see the Cavs trying to get some quick charges off here into the Sartosian militia, but the Mongols are here to respond, and looks like the Cavs going to charge in and eat a big charge from the Mongols as well. That's a poor trade for the Empire Knights. They're just getting punished, and looks like the other one, might eat a few swings from the other Mongol.
It's true, but look here, Saratosa Militia did get a big charge from the Empire Knights, so...
Yeah, Mix is keeping his line static. He needs to shift his line. He doesn't want to get a single flank to be completely enveloped and crushed.
Absolutely, and needs to see Mixa be a bit more cautious with these Knights. I don't like seeing him get shot out, but I mean, he's getting some good damage on those Free Company Militia. We'll give him that. Boris coming down to help out these Reichsguarded swordsmen against the Mongols, and they did some really good damage there.
Yeah. Wow, this, all these Knights are taking way too much damage, though.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, these ones taking quite a bit. The Empire Knights down to 28 models. But, I mean, right now, he does have a swordsman out here, and although it sucks to see swordsman die, it makes sense, you know. Hopefully he's targeting onto these Mongols that are bunched up on the swordsman, and we'll get some really good damage from that artillery. But it actually looks like he's targeting the missile units, perhaps?
Yeah, oh no, he's switching over onto the Mongols now, but yeah, it just looks really tough for the Empire here. So many zombies, so many guns, and
yeah,
the Cav has taken some pretty good damage already.
It definitely has. I mean, if he can keep the Cav healthy, that's exactly what you need to kill a bunch of zombie chaff. But he needs to figure out what to do against these Mongols, because these Mongols are just not, as we've seen in so many battles before, are just so powerful with their terror, with their regeneration in combat. And right now, Boris is diving onto the Vampire Fleet Captain of Polearm, with the Polearm, into a bunch of missile fire and Mongols that are surrounding him.
My goodness, look at that. Just getting crushed, and this is going to be quite unfortunate. Boris is kind of the linchpin here. He's going to hold everything together. He's the hard hitter that might be able to claw the Empire back into this, but oh, look at that. So he's going to be saved by his Cav, and he'll be able to regen that back up.
That's very true, and looks like the Cav actually is taking that advantage, an opportunity to dive into the missile units too in some key areas. We'll see if they're able to get any damage in, or...
Look at the Warrior Priest. He's buffing up all this Cav. He's giving them fire damage, which is really going to help against the Mongols here.
Absolutely.
And, although, boom, huge invocation back.
Very big invocation.
There we go. We have Feral Manticore summoned, but I'm not sure what it's going to do in this battle.
I mean, I guess it could go for the deck droppers up in the air. That might be what I would use it for at this point, to get rid of that Overwatch fire, but it's going in, double teaming the Lord. And the Empire's just committing towards killing this Vampire Fleet Captain. I mean, if he kills him, gamble pays off, but it's a big gamble right now.
Indeed.
But look at this, right? Empire Knights coming into the back lines, and these guys could get a huge charge and compromise a lot of the missile units for the Vampire Coast right now.
Yeah, look, the Mongols getting worn down.
Mongols are
crumbling.
That artillery fire has just been consistent ubiquitous throughout this whole battle. And Flock of Dooms, I'm still expecting to see some of them come in.
Another huge invocation of the Heck going down, but another big charge. The Mongols are surrounded. Although the cannonballs are still shooting into the this Mongol blob, it might kill a lot of the Empire Cav in return.
Yeah.
Oh, and look at Boris. Oh no. Oh, but the Mongols. Look at this. Boris is nearly routing. The Mongols are nearly crumbling.
Oh, is Boris going to die? Come on. Game. I think so. Well, wait. Is Boris going to get out of here? Here comes the wizard. It looks like he's trying to get a Flock of Doom going. Oh my goodness gracious. Free Company Militia here. Looks like another transformation of Kadan going down.
They need to ward off those bats. Otherwise, I mean, oh, look at that. Boris going right into it, going right after the bats. But he is dangerous. Oh,
he's dead.
He's shattered.
Come on, what's going to happen here? I mean, I want to see these Empire Knights get micro. They dove in here a while ago, and they've just been in combat ever since. And right now, it's just the firepower is clearly in favor of the Vampire Counts, but the balance of power is still even. And look, the Hammer of the Witches is still completely free. Just firing away, and the damage over time that thing can provide is no joke. But just not a lot of great targets.
Yeah, the Manticore is going right after the Empire Fleet Admiral. But it's just, without Boris, I don't see any way to really hold this Empire army together and kill the remaining units here. I mean, there's just so many zombies and guns.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing giving me any hope is it's kind of the Warrior Priest is still here, but as I say that, it looks like he's about to get killed. So, I don't know. The Warrior Priest gave me some hope. The Cannon's giving me a little hope, but there's too much firepower still in the corner of the Vampire Coast right now, and I think we're going to see Crusader take this and just say some really aggressive play from Mixa in these last few battles.
Yeah, the last battle was very well played, and you know, if Boris just stayed alive, who knows how this late game could have worked out, but yeah, so many guns, it's going to be tough to really get a lot of value out of that Cav, and not much infantry. As well, infantry that was breakable. Subject to terror.
Yeah. I mean, really good job dealing with Mongols was too high. And he's pulling back to the Hammer of the Witches right now. That's his fortress. He's going back to the Alamo. But,
yeah. Looks like, it's Crusader. Well played to him. And GG's.
GG's all around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, as I say, that Vampire Fleet Captain took a fat cannonball to the face.
Yeah.
We got some free company.
These crew members for the Hammer of the Witches, they're saying it's not over yet.
No. They got 87 kills, and they're like, we got a few more in us.
Yeah. Not over till the Fat Slaughter sings. But, yeah, you know, killed all the Mongols, but just so many zombies at the end.
Okay, it looks like Invocation of Heck going down there, too, and that's going to be it. GG, well
I think what the Empire really needed here was keeping Boris alive and just better use of the Cav. You know?
Yeah. There's definitely points where I thought he had that battle in his hands, but yeah.
He's doing a good job. It's just there are a couple. They need to be a couple units need to be more active. A lot of them were doing a good job tanking down the Mongols, but a couple units need to be a bit more active. And but it was just a really good army brought by Crusader. He played very well today, so credit to him.
Yeah.
To Crusader, and congrats.
Yeah, congrats to Crusader. Very well played. Very well played to Mixa. And if I'm being completely honest, I do feel very, very bad about how that last few battles turned out. Or that last battle turned out in particular.
Yeah, though, I mean, if you went with the standard vampires, he could have just brought more guns instead of the Sartoja militia, and could have brought Noctilus, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
So I wouldn't worry too much. I don't see that affecting, you know, didn't affect that much, really.
Yeah.
It's also interesting to see a 20-stack vampire army, so you can't summon.
Yeah.
Right away.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, Crusaders. I don't think it was a big problem here, but it was probably more so in the dwarf game.
Yeah, definitely the dwarf game. Yeah.
So that completely changes the matchup.
Yeah, it's completely true. Soothsayer. I definitely, yeah. That and that
don't
one
worry.
in particular. My bad. I will work on it moving forward. Hopefully next time. It's just bummer that it's in the finals, but what you gonna do? I'll get better as the seasons progress. We're in season 2. Next tournament coming up soon.
Yeah, man. Season 2. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be I mean, it's just started with last week's, right? So
Yeah, exactly. So
it's
off to a
lot of
great
new
start.
content coming as well. Yeah, man, for sure.
But yeah, in any case, I will send the prizes out to the players. Congrats, Crusader, the ultimate king of destruction. I'll post an announcement later.
Yeah, GG's to all. A lot of great games, very entertaining matchups, and yeah, thank you to all the competitors, and thank you to my son for putting it together. And yeah, I can't wait to see what Season 2 has in store.
Well, I'm excited to have you guys there, and once again, thank you for helping me co-cast Romulan. Thank you, chat, for being here, and for all the players for being patient, sticking with us through technical difficulties. But yeah, it's been a pleasure streaming for y'all. I hope you have a wonderful day, a great night, and I will see you next time. I'm going to go hang out with my buddies for his birthday. But yeah, thank you guys so much. And to the new followers, seriously, thank you. Got to 615 today, guys. Really appreciating the love. And Kajborv, the last person to follow, thank you for that as well. In any case, congrats to all the tournament participants and great games all around. Take care of yourself. I will see you next time. I'm going to be trying to stream tomorrow if I get a chance, but it's going to be a busy day. Monday for sure. I'll see you guys next time.
And y'all, be excellent. Have a good one. Thanks for joining us.